MTG Scoundrels. It's in the cardboard. Ladies and gentlemen, scoundrels of all ages, welcome back to another episode of Modern Weekly. Today on the docket, we have ourselves some Dimir Reanimator versus Domain Zoo. Of course, Reanimator seeing some more play as of late, and Domain Zoo still being one of the better decks in the format. We'll see how it plays out at the Pro Tour. Looks like we're starting off going to 17. Into a Ragavan Nimble Pilferer, which is so easy to say. Not a bad start here. Looks like there was a Surveil land, and keeping it top for the Reanimator player. Which is good, generally, because that means it's not an Archon. Though it could be an Abhorrent Oculus, I guess. There's a Flooded Strand. There's a Ragavan attacking in. Just a Thought Scour here. Probably not going to cast it. Flooded Strand getting cracked. Finding a Plains. Seems like a pretty aggressive set of plays here coming from the Domain Zoo player, but generally, if you can ramp into a 3-drop, this isn't the worst situation. Okay, there's a Fable of the Mirror Breaker on turn 2. That'll make a Goblin Shaman and pass. There's Misty Rainforest. That's going to cast... That's going to get cracked, and the Psychic Frog is going to be cast here. Tapping and drawing. That treasure should be gone. Discarding a Ragavan. Yeah, that treasure not there. Attacking in for 4. Making a treasure. Psychic Frog, setting up to block the Ragavan. Discarding an Archon. In response, there's a Lightning Bolt. Targeting the Psychic Frog. Another Archon getting discarded. So it's a 3-4. As of right now, it's going to die in combat unless more is discarded. It looks like that's what's going to happen. We'll have a trade here. And the Goblin Shaman getting in for 2. Steam Vents coming in untapped. Into another Ragavan. And passing. Well, that's how quickly the game turns on its head, folks. There is a Persist into an Archon of Cruelty. ETB, drain for 3. Or as we know it, a Lightning Helix effect. Discard a card. Your opponent discards a card, you draw a card. And the Domain Zoo player is going to have to sacrifice a creature. Looks as though Ragavan will be the creature of choice to be sacked. Is that just 2 lands in hand? That might just be 2 lands in hand. There's one of them. That Fable, of course, transforms. So as of now, that provides an extra creature to sacrifice. Of course, this Fable cannot This Fable cannot be tapped currently because it does have Summoning Sickness. Or else that'd be pretty effective into this Archon, being able to create a goblin that can, or a copy of the goblin token that could be sacrificed to the Archon. Here's a Lush Portico. So we will have a Surveil incoming. Really needs to be a big hit here. I mean, if you could put a Flage into the bin, that would do a lot of work. But no, that's another land in the bin. Passing the turn. Reanimator player fetching on end step. Finding a tapped Watery Grave. So essentially, as long as you dodge, all right. Archon of Cruelty. Gonna attack in. The goblin is going to die. That'll bring us to 20-2. And there's the Persist to get the Archon, and that'll do it for game number 1. Going to Reanimator. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate all of you that have been tuning in. We're on our steady quest up to 500 subscribers and 1,000 after that. So thank you for subscribing. We appreciate all of you, especially our recent influx of people. Moving into sideboards here. Domain Zoo probably bringing in a certain amount of interaction. Doorkeeper Thrall's pretty decent for the first ETB of Archon of Cruelty. But in some ways you gotta mulligan until you hit your Leyline Bindings to just deal with the creature. That's that way it can't come back. Also a little bit of graveyard hate doesn't hurt either. Reanimator here probably bringing in a certain amount of removal. Expect to see some Dismembers out of the board. And definitely look for some Harbinger of the Seas out of the board here as well. A great way to turn off the domain shenanigans. Moving into our ads, definitely check out our friends over at Arcane Artistry. They make wonderful food, clue, and treasure tokens in the stained glass style. Link to their Etsy front is in the description. They've been featured over on EDH Hijinks as well as the Spike Feeders. So definitely check them out. And of course, check out our friends host of the channel, Grove Warden Games. Wonderful place to storm out. Link to their storefront in the description. And of course, check out our friend Sean Gerard, makes wonderful art for the channel. Link to their Instagram on the screen here with the QR code, as well as their email in the description. They are open to new projects. And make some wonderful art, whether in a professional or personal setting. So definitely check them out. And last but not least, check out our socials. We are at MTG Scoundrels over on Blue Sky, Twitter, and over on Facebook. Post interesting modern content, as well as just discussing Magic in general. So definitely hit us up over there. And in the comments below, let us know what you thought of the Pro Tour this weekend. That lets us know that you got to this point in the video. So definitely interact with us in the comments about the Pro Tour. We'll be having some more commentary about the Pro Tour this past weekend coming this next week. So definitely check that out. A lot of interesting gameplay happened. So definitely go to the official Magic channel and watch the VODs of all the gameplay. Quite a diverse top 8. And we are getting close to moving into game number 2 here. Of course, Reanimator took game 1 quickly. Persisted, very solid card, and when you already got Psychic Frog, one of the best cards in the format to discard your Archons, can really turbo things out. Here's a Flooded Strand in passing. Steam Vents. Flooded Strand getting cracked. Considering nothing's been played, I would expect a Triome here. Yes, indeed. And doth a Triome being found? That'll bring us to 20 to 19. The next fetch probably getting Steam Vents. Then Domain's online and we see what happens. Speaking of, Wooded Foothills gonna get cracked into a Doorkeeper Thrall. In some ways it might be best to play at the end step of the opponent, but getting it out here not necessarily bad either. That'll turn off the ETBs of the Archons. Not the attack triggers, unfortunately, but at least unfortunately from the Domain player side. Not having to lose a creature initially can change some math. There's a Thought Scour. Milling 2. No Archons on that mill. Polluted Delta and pass. There's a Flooded Strand into a Territorial Kavu. Leaving one fetch up for interaction. Just going to pass here. Could have got him for one with the Doorkeeper Thrall. Delta getting cracked for the Undercity Sewers. Cracking another fetch. Finding a swamp. And here's Abhorrent Oculus. Plenty of cards in the graveyard to be able to cast it. Flooded Strand getting cracked here. Finding a Plains. Casting a Leyline Binding. Can't let Abhorrent Oculus get out of hand. As much as you'd prefer to keep it for a card such as Archon of Cruelty, or even trying to get rid of Psychic Frog. Though usually your second removal spell is for the frog. There's an Arena of Glory. Attacking in. Kavu Trigger. Discarding a Flooded Strand, drawing a card. Bringing us to 11 to 15. There is a Leyline of the Guild Pact. Hard cast, something you don't see too often. Ooh, there is a Scion of Draco in hand. Untapping. Drawing for turn. There's a land. Arid Mesa to be specific, but it can be tapped for anything thanks to that Leyline of the Guild Pact. And here is Scion of Draco. On the stack, that's going to get hit with a Sink into Stupor. But that'll just get recast here. Then attacking in for 6. Of course, they have Vigilance and Lifelink, as well as Hexproof, thanks to the Guild Pact Scion combo, and that'll do it for Game 2, just like that. Domain Zoo, taking care of business. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe, be a friend, tell a friend. We appreciate you all. A quick couple of games here in this match between Reanimator and Domain Zoo. Was hoping we'd see more from Domain Zoo over at the Pro Tour. But unfortunately, didn't put up the results we were anticipating. We did see Belcher do pretty well, but probably less of a surprise to those in the know. Blue-white control, Jeskai control became probably the breakout deck of the format with how consistently it played, and really just how it looked against the rest of the field. But we are now moving towards game number 3 in Reanimator versus Domain Zoo. This time Reanimator on the play. Oh, that looks like a greedy hand from Domain Zoo. We'll see if they keep it. Looks like that's the case. Pre-game action, Leyline of the Guild Pact. Misty Rainforest. Oh, that's a 3-drop. There's an Arid Mesa into a Ragavan. Misty Rainforest going to get cracked. Finding an island. It looks as though a Dismember is going to be taking it out. Yes, indeed. Wow. Alright, that puts us at 15 to 20. And there's Psychic Frog. Oh no. Cracking the Arid Mesa. Doesn't look like there's a second land here. Finding the Lush Portico, trying to see what they can find. This would probably be fine if there was a Leyline Binding in hand. Looking like a very greedy keep. Okay, land on top, passing. Archon getting discarded. There's a persist. Archon comes back. Deals 3, discard a card. Flage, not a bad one to throw in the bin. Psychic Frog going to get in for 2. Bring us to 18 to 14. Here's a Watery Grave. That'll bring us to 16 to 14. Playing the land for turn. Passing. Here's a Thought Scour. There's 2 more Archons. Drawing a card. Attacking in. Dealing the 3, discarding. Drawing a card. No creatures to sack. Then the damage going through, nothing beforehand. And there's a persist. That'll bring it to 22 to 1. If there was a leyline binding needed, it would be right here. Wow. There is a Steam Vents going out on their own terms. And that'll do it. Reanimator taking the match against Domain Zoo. Thank you all so much for watching us here at MTG Scoundrels. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. Be a friend, tell a friend. And we will see you all next week.